Some dogs can be extremely scary pets. If you don't believe me, just look at the mug of a Tibetan Mastiff. That face doesn't exactly scream out cute and cuddly, but even the Tibetan Mastiff doesn't hold a candle to the animals on our list of today. Number 1 is definitely a surprising inclusion, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Here are 10 of the scariest pets people actually own. Number 10. Alligators. You may find it hard to believe, but yes, some people do keep alligators as pets. If having a pet alligator swimming around in your swimming pool sounds scary to you, well, that's because it basically is pretty terrifying, actually. However, there hasn't even been a single fatal attack by an alligator in the US in the last 5 years, wild or captive. But that doesn't mean you should go out and buy yourself one. Alligators are wild animals. Inviting any wild animal into your house is already inherently dangerous. Even more so when the said animal has sharp teeth and a bite force that could potentially tear your limbs off very easily. However, they're actually not as scary as you'd think. Alligators do not chase people, and when they do attack humans, they do so defensively. And again, to clarify, all fatal attacks happen out in the wild. But as one should expect, owning an alligator, while not likely to be a fatal endeavor as long as you don't do anything monumentally stupid, can be quite dangerous because the handler is at risk of getting bitten. Number 9. Crocodile monitors. Wait, what? You're not satisfied with just an alligator? Alright, fine. How about this? This massive monitor grows to 8 to 12 feet in captivity and requires large caging that unfortunately isn't that easy to provide. Their temperament varies by individual, but bites are always a possibility with these generally high-strung animals and can result in finger amputations and deep tissue wounds, even with juvenile animals. This is due to their uniquely serrated teeth and strong jaws. Monitors also have saliva that is densely populated with bacteria that will cause severe infectious reactions such as inducing shock, similarly to Komodo dragons. Although no one has been directly killed by crocodile monitors and other large similar lizards, their bites can potentially be deadly if not treated. Number 8. Any large constrictor snake. And here's yet another reptile that makes it to our list. Don't worry, we're gonna move on to some mammals real soon. But first, let's talk about a pet that can induce fear amongst most people. Snakes. Not just any snake though, but large constrictor snakes, such as boas and pythons. The Burmese python is a particular favorite among exotic pet enthusiasts, even beginners. The problem is these guys grow very, very big, and it doesn't take a long time before a clueless pet owner finds himself way in over his head. At this point, they only have a couple of choices. Either give the snake away or release it into the wild. Most people prefer the latter. In fact, the Florida Everglades are overrun with Burmese pythons and are considered an invasive species. It's not only their size that I find downright terrifying. They're also extremely strong animals, capable of squeezing life out of any prey, large and small, animal and human. I'm sure some amongst us have nightmares about a giant snake cozying on up to us while in bed while we're sleeping, and then it proceeds to give you a tight hug before swallowing you whole. Number 7. Camels. Camels do not make very good pets, no matter what some people might say. They're born and bred for the desert, not people's homes, and most definitely not to be kept as pets. But what's so scary about camels? Oh, you want to know? You want to flippin' know? Well fine, here's why. A woman in Australia has been killed by her pet camel after the animal may have tried to have sex with her. Yeah, let that sink in. The woman was found dead at the family sheep and cattle ranch near the town of Mitchell in Queensland. The woman had been given the camel as a 60th birthday present earlier this year because of her love of exotic pets. The camel was just 10 months old but already weighed 336 pounds and had come close to suffocating the family's pet goat on a number of occasions. One day the woman apparently became the object of the male camel's desire. It knocked her to the ground, laid on top of her, and displayed what the police delicately described as possible mating behavior. Camels are also known to be pretty temperamental guys. According to a report on Fox News, when a local TV news crew was out filming exotic animal farms, an 1,800-pound camel named Polo must have decided that they were not shooting his best side. Polo then became very agitated and he attacked his owner, kicking her and sitting on her. Oh, and if you didn't know, camels like to spit too, and it's pretty gross. Number 6. Ostriches. Just a couple of decades ago, you wouldn't even try and consider getting an ostrich as a pet. Nowadays, getting an ostrich is easier than you'd think. Not the wild varieties, though. The red-necked and blue-necked ostriches are exclusive to the wild. Their domestic cousin, though, the black-neck, is a different story altogether. Black-necked ostriches are bred and raised in captivity. Every single part of this ostrich has commercial value. Its skin, meat, eggs, bones, and feathers are considered premium quality goods, and ostrich farms have sprung up all over. Kinda like big old chicken coops. Adopting a chick from one of these farms is actually quite easy, and honestly, it's just one look at a cute little ostrich chick that may just be enough to convince you to adopt one. It's an entirely different story when they're all grown up, though. Ostriches aren't the overgrown chickens you might think them to be. It would be better to compare them to a velociraptor. Quite fast, actually, and fast enough to run you down, as well as very aggressive, and worst of all, very aggressive with their talons. Those talons are the worst of your worries. Large and sharp, and the ostriches use them as a weapon, and coupled with their world-renowned powerful kicks, it's bad news when one of these creatures suddenly decides to attack you. Number 5. Scorpions. Alright, you know me. I'm not exactly a big fan of creepy crawlies, so whether or not this next animal on our list is dangerous, you're never ever gonna catch me taking it home as a pet, much less touch one of these things. Scorpions are very popular among exotic pet keepers. For one, they are very low maintenance. Give it a cricket or two and you're done for the week. They don't drink much too, especially the ones that are endemic to desert areas. There are many varieties of scorpions, both venomous and non-venomous. But whichever variety you choose to take home as a pet, they are extremely dangerous. The poisonous varieties, obviously, carry lethal doses of poison in their tails. If you get stung by one of these, needless to say, it's going to give you more than a bad day. The non-venomous varieties may not kill you, but the pain that both sting and pincers can give you will be more than enough to teach you not to touch them again. So, be like me and stay as far away from them as possible. Number 4. Big cats. Big cats, especially lions and tigers, are sought-after pets by exotic pet lovers, the rich, and the eccentric. Even Mike Tyson had a pet tiger once. It's a good thing he's moved on to raising pigeons, though, which is a much safer hobby. But I do digress. Gone are the days when these majestic beasts are only in the possession of circuses and zoos. Nowadays, if you have a lot of money and the right connections, it is entirely possible that you can be the proud owner of a lion or a tiger cub. That is, if you have the guts for it. Yes, I'm aware that you've seen videos online of lions and tigers that have been released into the wild, acting like cubs again when they see the person that raised them, but those are just isolated cases. More than likely what's gonna happen is having one of these creatures as a pet would end up with you getting mauled by it to near death. Just ask Siegfried. Or actually, was it Roy? Honestly, I keep getting those two mixed up. I'm not as big a fan. Number 3. The kinkajou. Okay, so I actually didn't really remember what a kinkajou even was. But when I decided to do a refresher course, I just couldn't resist its adorable little furry body with those big boogie eyes. A kinkajou, also known as a sugar bear, looks like a cross between a squirrel, a hamster, and a chinchilla. They are pretty darn cute. But again, it's the cute ones that'll kill ya. Paris Hilton had a pet kinkajou named Baby Love. In 2005, she took it shopping with her and was attacked by the thing, and it clawed up her face good. The brilliance of all this is that again in 2006, Baby Love sent Hilton to the emergency room after she was bitten by that cute Baby Love on the arm. That's why this one ranked pretty high up on the list, because it's a cute little animal that attacked Paris Hilton numerous times. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's best pick is an animal that's so terrifying, only insane supervillains would even think of getting them as pets. That was until this guy came along. What animal am I talking about? Find out next with number 2. Hyenas. You have to just be plain old crazy like the Joker or Harley Quinn to even consider getting a hyena as a pet. Brian Hahn, for all intents and purposes, seemed to be a pretty normal guy, but he still did everything he could to get Jake, his pet hyena. According to Brian, he spent 2 whole weeks stripping in Fort Lauderdale to earn the money to buy the vicious creature with the deep, icy black eyes and razor fangs. Brian said that he kept Jake illegally in an apartment for 11 months until it began making a ruckus by bouncing off walls. He said he was first shown 2 6-week-old hyenas and he immediately bonded with the creature. Fortunately, only after 11 months of being together, Brian had to say goodbye to Jake. And it also wasn't because he was a vicious, unpredictable animal that could attack him at any given moment. No, but because feeding and taking care of Jake became too expensive for him, and no amount of stripping could ever cover the expenses. He tried to give him to 3 different Florida zoos, but they all declined. That is until Mario Tabare at the Zoological Wildlife Foundation agreed to take in Jake. Brian still visits Jake, stating that the bond he has with this wild animal is absolutely priceless. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. Turtles. At first you might think that I'm just out of my mind here. I can practically hear you now and probably see you also later in the comment section. How can a turtle just be so dangerous, you might ask? Well, be patient for a bit and soon everything will be clear. Turtles are probably the easiest pets to take care of. All I need is a fishbowl, a little bit of water, some turtle pellets, and you're good to go. The simplicity of turtles as pets probably is the reason why they became the first pets of millions of toddlers all over the world, which really makes sense come to think of it. I mean really, you wouldn't want to entrust a puppy's life to a 3-year-old, am I right? But I digress. Turtles are very scary animals, especially baby turtles, but not in the usual sense. You see, they're known carriers of salmonella. You know, that microscopic bacteria found in raw chicken, and the reason why your home economics teacher told you time and time again to make sure that the chicken you're frying is cooked enough. So before buying a turtle for your kid, think about what I just said first. Would you be willing to take any of these animals as pets? Let us know down below in the comments. Make sure you also check out the channel's other amazing videos. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.